Last year we introduced you to an absolute amazing man, Chris Harmer. In January 2020, Chris was diagnosed with stage 4 brain tumour. And since then, his journey has been a lot of highs and lows, even a time into remission. Sadly though, Chris is starting to lose his fight with his illness, but he remains as positive as ever, drawing strength from his faith from within the church. He's an inspiration to us all. I recently sat down with Chris for a chat about his journey, his bucket list, and of course his family. I bring to you a conversation with Chris. Rather burnt, so.
I can see. Got a bit of a scab on your head.
Yeah. Oh, plus I get bashed my head underneath the trails. And
Oh, jeez.
And sweat pimples everywhere, so.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to ask me, just ask away.
No,
I'm ready to talk.
I'm as nervous as all shit.
Don't be nervous. This is an opportunity.
It is.
Yep.
That's right. What a journey you've had, Chris, from
day one.
Was it January 2020?
January 2020,
Yeah.
yes.
And it hasn't been a roller coaster.
It certainly has
down.
been. It's been up and down,
Yep.
and lots of good news and lots of bad news. Been very difficult on the family, especially my wife and the children.
Yes.
Not knowing whether the news was going to be positive or negative, especially all the treatment I've been through, the radiotherapy, the chemotherapy, and I really am so thankful that in that journey I've suffered no side effects, no pain, which is amazing. And the doctors and nurses always ask me, do you need any Panadol? Have you got a headache? And I said, I haven't had one headache. Although I did have a couple of headaches, I won't deny that. One time I did have a really bad migraine, which I had to be taken to hospital for, and a very high temperature, which was about the one and only time. And in all that, in the last 12 to 18 months, that is amazing in my book, and I really am thankful for that.
For the amount of digging around they've done in there.
Oh, exactly. I've had.
It's just amazing how you don't suffer from headaches all the time.
That's right.
It's amazing.
Exactly. I've had 4 brain operations, surgeries, and to come out of those 4 brain surgeries and still be able to do something.
So
And,
just walk me through, after our last interview here at the Wagga Bay Club, what's gone on since then?
Yes. Well, obviously, I went through more treatment, and in 2021, I actually became so well. My new neurosurgeon or neurologist, Dr. Martin Jude in Wagga Wagga, approved me to get a car licence, and I thought, this is amazing. I can drive a car. That was more than I could ever wish for. I just was so thankful that that things were just going so well, and not long after that, unfortunately, out of the blue, I had another epileptic seizure. I've been taking medication to sort of make sure that didn't happen, but unfortunately, I did have a seizure, and I was always told that could happen at any time. It's not like, I'm never going to have one, because my brain tumour certainly hadn't disappeared, even though I was sort of feeling that I was so fit and healthy. I thought I really was going to be in the clear and in remission. And once I had that seizure, then the surgeon said, we need to get you back to Sydney and operate again. And that was my 4th surgery.
That was the 4th one.
And so I went back to St. Vincent's, and very thankful that Dr. Tim, I can't remember Dr. Tim's last name, but anyway, it was recently filmed live
on the nurses program.
On the nurses program.
Yes.
On the Channel 7,
Yep.
7 Plus app.
And that's when Doug Newman,
Yes.
another local truck driver, had been diagnosed with the same condition as you back in May this year, 2021.
That's right.
And he ended up almost in the next room to you, wasn't he?
Exactly. I walked out of my door, walked into his room, and I could not believe that he had, about 2 days before, he'd had the same surgery as I had the same diagnosis.
2 truck drivers from Wagga, both worked in the same yard, We all know each other. Like, what the chances of that?
It's just freaky.
Absolutely.
It really is.
But that I watched that thing of nurses and it was really fantastic. You know, just
quite confronting if you don't want to look at something.
That's right. But
brain
you know,
surgery.
it I think it's very educational. You know, and what these people have got to deal with and what you've got to deal with too.
I know. I really didn't know what was going to be shown because I was in the cannula bay when they were putting the cannulas in, and of course they just said, "Do you mind if we film your surgery?" And I went, "What for?" And they said, "We've been following a nurse for the last 3 months to put on this television program." And I said, "Well, you know, if it's educational, I'm all for it." So they did put it on the Channel 7's program, and here we are.
Yeah.
And but anyway, that's one of those stories. You just don't know what's going to happen.
So you were up there for a few days. And you come back again.
Back down to
and
Wagga.
you continued treatment here in Wagga.
I was very fortunate at the Riverina Cancer Care Centre in Wagga. They said, "Well, we know you've already gone through radiotherapy and chemotherapy last year. We've had a good think about your case, and we really think we're really worried if we give you radiotherapy again, it could cause you further brain damage because it's just so damaging." And I said, "Well, it's up to you. I mean, whatever you can do, I'll welcome it." And they said, "Well, you know, we've had a good hard think about it." And so they did give me a what they call a half dose of radiotherapy, and that only went for about 4 weeks of a couple of doses, and it didn't give me what I consider to be really any side effects. Definitely didn't give me any pain, and but unfortunately, the 4th surgery I had, because of the severe nature of the tumour and how much was left, when they tried to dig that out, I really did think. Since then, my left-hand side has been greatly affected, and I really have limited movement in my left leg and my left arm and hand, and I've undergone a lot of rehab, and I'm really thankful that the local hospital has been so helpful in coming to our house and trying to help me get some movement.
Did it give you some improvement?
It did give me some improvement, and I've been able to use a cane, and now I'm in a wheelchair just to make sure I don't fall over, but I can get from A to B very slowly and gently. But I have had a lot of falls, unfortunately. When I have fallen, I haven't been able to get myself back up.
You don't think of that, do you? You think,
no,
if you ever fall over, you think, "Oh, I'll just get back up." But
exactly.
But
so my right side is really strong and healthy, I think, and I just thought, no matter what, I can get myself up. I was always thinking, you know, I'm not going to lie down on the floor and just give up. We had really had to ring the ambulance and say, we really need some assistance getting Chris back up again.
Yeah, it's a big ask for your wife to.
It was very difficult for Carol.
To run this, yeah.
And since then, not saying that I've deteriorated, but I really need now 24/7 personal care. It's just become really difficult at home, and we needed a lot more aids at home, especially in the bathroom and all that, and supports. And we were getting some supports with the NDIS, and very sadly, that funding has been chewed up, and we have no control over that. You know, they sort of said, "We can do this for you, and this is how much funding we can give you to help you for this long." And then it sort of started to chew up very quickly. So now recently I've been in palliative care at Calvary Hospital, and I'm very thankful for that, and that's been a real blessing for us. You know, just to take the burden off Carol, and I'm hoping, I've just had what they call an ACAT assessment, and hopefully I'll be going into maybe a nursing home or the local forest centre or a hospice. And I don't know, I mean, the Lord Jesus Christ has been with me every step of the way, and the Holy Spirit has kept me safe and from any pain and harm. And I know that, you know, each and every day I praise Him for giving me a day, and just to be able to share His love amongst others. And also, you know, I'm just so blessed to, you know, to have my family and my church, and how much they've all been such a
You've got a fantastic support group around here. You know,
really
your church,
do.
your
We really
faith,
do.
your family, your local blokes who've known for years.
Exactly.
It's been a really good support basis.
There's really not a day goes by that someone does not contact me and just, you know, sends me either a Bible verse or, you know, something to share with others, and just to you know, help me, you know, keep my feet grounded.
You know,
and,
what makes me chuckle every time you ring me, he says, "How you going, Dodsy?" I said, "Never mind how I'm going. How are you going, Chris?
Yes.
Don't worry about me."
Yep, don't worry.
You know, you know, you've been Mr. Positive and still are, and
really
you're
am.
an inspiration.
Thank you.
To anyone, to everyone, mate. You put a smile on everyone's face. You really do.
Thank you.
It's just amazing what you've gone through, and what you are still going through,
Oh, yeah.
and you keep powering on day after day, you know, and you are just an absolute inspiration, you know.
Thank you.
And,
I really feel. I mean, every day
you still look good.
I feel amazing. I really do. I haven't had any sickness. I literally want to get out of bed and jump for joy every day, and just.
You're putting a bit of weight on, but you're not going to catch me though.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's not like I can run a marathon, but I am eating very healthy in hospital.
Yeah, that's good.
And I've had a lot of good meals in there, and I'm very thankful for that. And it's just been really, I mean, it's been a great experience, although not like many people would say, I want to do what he's doing, you know, but it really has been just a great journey.
Yeah, right.
Up and down as might be.
So they're telling me that you ticked off one of your things on your bucket list by going up in a plane?
I certainly did.
How was that?
That was amazing.
I know the photographs you put on Facebook were just amazing.
My brother-in-law just said, would you like to go for an afternoon tea out to a farm?
Yep.
I said, put me down for it. We went out to Forest Hill to the airport.
Yep.
We pulled up beside this plane, and I said, what are we doing? He said, see that plane over there? And I said, well, it's got a tiny little ladder beside it. What do you think, what's that going to do? And he said, don't worry, we're just going to go for a quick plane flight. I said, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get in there. I said, I can't even get in and out of a car. And he said, no, I'll help you get in and out. So they did. Got me up into the little cockpit. And I tell you what, that was...
Was it a little Cessna or something, was it?
I did take a photo of it, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, because them cockpits are not real big.
Oh, this tiny. And I tell you what...
You did well.
Oh,
you did well to get in there.
They lifted... Got me up the steps, got me over the wing sort of thing, and the wheels beside the wing, and then sat me up in there, and I said, you know, I don't want to fall out. And he said, no, make sure you get your phone out. It takes plenty of photos and video. And
So you didn't do any victory barrel rolls over?
No, definitely not.
Turby Park?
No, but I did sort of look.
A lot
out
of the thought
the
was
side.
there. Was the thought there that you wanted to do a barrel roll?
No, definitely wasn't. And believe me, I was looking at the wing. The wings are going like this, and I went, you know, I thought, geez, a little small plane, I could get airsick very quickly here. and I didn't get one bit of sickness. And I thought, if I'm going to get sick, it's going to be now, but not one bit of air sickness, which is really...
The photographs were amazing, and
it
gives you a whole different perspective when you're up there, what you can see.
You sort of taxi on the runway, and then all of a sudden you're up, and then you sort of... You know, you're buffeted by the wing, and it really was an amazing experience.
You talk about the difficulties it's had on your family and your kids.
Yes.
And I imagine it's really quite traumatic for your kids seeing you in a wheelchair now.
Yes, well...
They obviously must understand that something's not quite right.
Yes.
Do you think they've taken on board how dire the situation is?
Well, I know my son Tom understands a lot, and he's very able to communicate with us, and we've told him about Dad's illness, and he agrees, you know, that, you know, obviously Dad's not well, but Tom doesn't show a lot of emotion as far as, you know, this is very sad, but to me, I don't want to show any sadness. I just want to show nothing, just how happy I am. Each and every day.
I don't think I've ever seen you sad.
No, I don't. There has been a few tears, I won't deny that.
Oh, you're not human if you don't have a few tears.
Exactly. And Emily, she's such a beautiful, innocent child, and she certainly, she's just so loving. Whenever I see Emily, I put my arms out, and all she wants to do is give me a hug.
Yeah.
And that to me is more than I could ever ask for.
Yeah, fantastic.
And she can't communicate, so she can't tell us how she's honestly feeling.
But a hug and a cuddle,
Yep.
that's good communication.
And our daughter Lauren, she's an angel in disguise.
Yeah.
She really is. She has gone above and beyond so many times, just helping my wife Carol out, and just doing so much for us and our family. And her partner Andy, they've just been just such a blessing. They've done so much for us. And especially my brother-in-law Ben and his wife Sue and their children, they have been so helpful and so kind and just supportive of our whole situation. And that's, to me, I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
And that to me is
And I
very
think,
important.
it lessens the burden on everyone. Everyone
It
does a little
does.
bit.
It does.
And a great support basis, and you've got your church that's always supported you, and
Yep.
the cancer care place, and what's the mob that Billy sells tickets for? What's his name?
Can
Can
Assist,
That's
right,
what I
yep.
was thinking about. Yeah, can.
Yep.
Yeah, because their blokes are giving you a fair bit of support too, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
They have. Billy Lane has said to me every time he's seen me, "What can we do for you? What can we give you? Can we give you some money? Can we give you some food?"
Yeah.
And I just said to Bill, "Believe me, Bill, there's a lot more people who need it more than I do, and we've been so lucky in so many ways. People have just said, 'What can we do for you?' And I just think, we've been given so much. I don't want to be rude and say I don't want anything, but people have been just always giving, and I just want to thank each and every one of those people. It's just so kind and generous. And one thing I want to raise awareness about is our children's syndrome, is Phelan-McDermid syndrome, which is part of the PMS, or Phelan-McDermid Syndrome Foundation Australia.
Yep.
That's just a hat I wear some days to keep the sun off my head. And I wear one of these Feeling Lucky shirts every day.
Every day, yep. I don't think I've seen a day without you on it. No.
I've got so many of these shirts, and last year I spent a whole year posting on Facebook one of these Feeling Lucky shirts, and telling people every day what I did for the day and what the kids did for the day.
That's right, I remember that. 365 days of feeling lucky.
365 days of feeling lucky.
Yeah, that's right, I remember that.
And it still comes up on
the
social
feed,
media.
and the feed every day. Good,
Yep.
good memories.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, wow, 12 months ago, this is what we did.
So, talking about the financial side, and obviously I don't want you to tell me, I'm not interested, but
No, that's
like,
okay.
I think you've been switched on prior to all this going south.
Of course.
And you probably think, wow, I'm lucky I've had it.
Yep.
Because I can imagine someone who didn't have the insurances or the right financial
exactly.
advice in place
Yep.
could turn the whole situation upside down 10 times worse.
Oh.
Like to deal with your health going south is one thing.
Exactly.
But then the financial burden on your family and your extended family must be huge. But I think you were pretty switched on. I
was very fortunate. I was given some advice when I was very young to consider getting income protection.
Yeah.
And I never even heard of income protection.
Yeah.
You see ads on the television all the time where people get together and they say, so-and-so's just been diagnosed with this, and they've just been paid out $1 million. I didn't get paid out $1 million, and I certainly wasn't expecting $1 million.
No.
But I was very fortunate that when I was young, I did sign up for this income protection, and it is now paying me regularly until the end. And we've been dealing with a local company called Blue Ribbon Finance.
Oh yeah, right.
And they have been just simply amazing. They really have. And I want to give them a plug because they have been so helpful to us. And my brother-in-law, who's also a financial controller, and he has been helping us every step of the way. And just to have that income protection and to, when you do get diagnosed with a terminal illness, they do give you a lump sum payout. And I really
it's one burden you don't have to worry about.
Exactly.
And I myself was saying, my financial advisor she told me years ago when we bought our last house.
Yes.
That she asked me, "What happens if something happens to you?"
That's right.
You know, you get a heart attack, a stroke,
Yep.
cancer, whatever. And I thought, and I don't want to leave the burden on Les.
No, of course not.
I took out trauma cover. You
That's
know,
right.
and it's expensive, but I know I've got peace of mind that if something happens to me,
that's right.
that the house will be paid off and the debts will be paid off.
Exactly.
And you know, if something happens to me, like a heart attack or stroke or whatever,
Oh, for sure.
it's enough burden on the family and
That you don't need.
That you don't need.
Yeah. Carol and I often talked about in our married life, saying, you know, do we really need this and can we afford it? And we always come back, if something did happen, I think it's better to have it than not have it. And I'm really glad that we made that decision, because if we hadn't, we would be in a lot worse situation. And I must say that back when this all first come about, there was a GoFundMe set up, and that GoFundMe that was set up, that was a huge boost to our finances. And I never expected. I never expected.
No one expected what happened.
Like that. You know, even a couple of dollars would have been, you know, just a couple of dollars would have been a big help. But to get what we got, it was just blew my mind. It really did.
But it just goes to show people how much people cared about you.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
And you know, when we were trying to do that benefit day in February 2020,
yeah.
And then this thing COVID got in the way.
Oh, exactly.
And it's been getting in the way for the last 18 months.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not going away
even
either.
the stuff that was donated by local businesses and people, friends of yours, who donated stuff to be auctioned off or raffled off, which will happen today, of course. Just the amount of stuff we got given was just amazing, you know, and it just goes to show that,
that's humongous.
A lot of people love you, mate.
Oh, thank you, Bruce.
And, you know, and you're an inspiration, as I say, you're an inspiration for all.
Thank you.
So, but anyway, to the transport family,
yes,
there'll be a lot of truck drivers will sit and listen to this video.
Yep.
And you've probably by us talking about the financial side, that might have triggered a conversation in their head.
Of course.
What would you advise? So someone in the 40s who's a truck driver, probably a bit overweight like myself, and you know, and not in all the right tucker and not living the most healthiest lifestyle.
Oh, of course not.
And they've got a mortgage or even a truck payment or something.
Mortgage or family.
Would you like? You're obviously very grateful that you had your finances and financial advice in order.
Yes.
Would you say to other people that they should probably go down and get some advice or go down that track?
I certainly would encourage them. I really would, because I know it's not the easiest thing to do. It's not even easy to make an appointment to go see a financial advisor and say, I really need assistance. Because a lot of people think, you know, I can handle my own money, my own finances. You know, I'm not broke. I'm not on the street. You know, I'm not a homeless person. But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but a lot of people have a lot of pride that they don't want to admit that they need maybe some help. You know, and I really do encourage that it's better to just walk in and say, you know, I'd like to talk about what's going to happen in the future. No one knows what the future will hold, and just to maybe
have the conversation.
Have a conversation. And it's just like mental health. It's better to talk about it than not to talk about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how's your mental health been?
My mental health, I think, it's been pretty good actually.
I think you've done amazingly.
I'm very fortunate. I've had a lot of good friends in my previous workplace. Especially when I first started at Finnemore's at the age of 16. I met so many drivers there back in the day, and they are still my friends to this day. And they have been regularly taking me to a coffee morning every Monday.
Yeah, how good's that?
Every Monday morning.
How good's that?
We go to a cafe, have a cup of coffee, and hopefully a bacon egg roll.
Yep.
And that to me is better than any mental health than I could ever wish for.
So you haven't suffered any depression since your diagnosis?
I haven't suffered any depression.
I
don't think so.
I'd say you know, because you and I have been in contact a lot more in the last probably 2 years than we did when we used to work together at Toll.
Exactly.
And I don't think there's a depressed thing in your body because, you know, and it's good that people need to talk about depression because, you know, it's so rife, especially in transport industry. But
especially when you're away for long periods of time.
For someone looking on the outside, I don't think you've ever suffered depression.
No,
but I thought I'd just ask that question because, you know, I can imagine that sort of diagnosis right at the beginning.
Oh, it could turn,
that could have turned you upside down.
Upside down.
Which it did, but it the mental side of things.
And if I dwelled on what the future might hold, I mean, my life is definitely coming to an end, and I'm not saying it's going to be ending today or tomorrow. And I'm just so thankful that the Lord Jesus Christ has kept me safe. And I think just praying to Him each and every day and reading the Bible. I get to do Bible study every 2 or 3 times a week now, and that to me has lifted me in so many ways. And I don't think I really could get depressed. You know, just praising our Lord.
There's too many positive vibes running around in you.
It's just amazing.
Running around in your body. I was going to say your head, but there probably is too.
There really is. You know, and I'm very thankful for that. And I just thought to myself, you know, even when I think about, you know, when the day might come, I look forward to being in heaven. I know there's a place in heaven for me, and that to me gives me joy. And there's no way I'm going to get depressed about dying or when that will come. That to me is.
So you don't have any fear.
No, I don't have a fear. No. I mean, I know
it's just another.
It's a part of life that we all have to face.
That's right. Some earlier than others.
Yep.
Some tragically, some not so tragically. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just so thankful that this journey has actually brought me closer to Jesus Christ, and has teach me more to be thankful for.
Yeah, it gives you a different perspective.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
You find some people are absolutely terrified of death.
Oh, of course.
But it's going to happen to us all.
Oh, of course.
You know, and I think you've just got to accept it.
Can't deny that.
Can't deny it.
No.
And you know, when the time comes and you're up here and we're down here.
Yep.
I know you'll be looking after us.
I'll be praying for you.
Keeping an eye on us.
Yes, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you.
And when we look for guidance, we'll be saying, Chris.
Yep, please.
Here you go, mate.
Yep. I'll be praying for you. Don't you worry.
But don't go anywhere soon.
No.
Just keep on keeping the good
fight. When the Lord
fight.
wants me, He'll take me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, exactly.
When your time slot's right.
Yep. And I just look forward to praising our Lord each and every day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. So, what's your legacy? What's your legacy, do you think?
A legacy?
Yeah, your legacy. What's your legacy? What's your legacy been?
Well, I haven't really thought about a legacy. I haven't thought, you know, the only thing I always wanted to do for my wife, Carol, was to be a good husband, a good father to our children.
Well, you know that.
And to support her in some way so that, you know, that she would be supported. And everyone I've spoken to said no matter what happens, she will be looked after.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
No two ways about it. And if that's your legacy, mate, you have nailed it.
Thank you.
Absolutely nailed it.
I know I love my children so much, and we're so fortunate to have these special gifts in life. And I just, you know, just hope, you know, that when we all meet in heaven, that, you know, it'll be a very good day. It really will be.
A good old party.
Yep, that's right. Thank you, Bruce.
All right, champion.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Well done.
It was your.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.